waves or tsunamis. We show videos, pictures. We show businesses like restaurants and things like that.
Wow.
Hotels. We also show some things that are a little bit different, like it's called Street View, Google Street View.
Google Street View.
So that you can actually.
Never heard of it.
Oh, Google Street View is great. Like if you were going to go visit, say, Germany,
okay.
and you said, well, I'm going to get down, I have a hotel I'm going to go to. I wonder how I'll know when I get there. What does it look like? Well, you can see the top of it from Google Earth.
There's real time.
What you do is you click, and it flies you to the street, and then it changes the picture to basically a movie taken from a car. So you can go down the street and look and see all the buildings going by.
It's like walking through, right?
Like walking through, you can turn around and see everywhere. And so you say, oh, I know, it's the hotel with the red awning and the yellow flowers.
It's like in a movie.
And then when you get there, you know exactly what to expect.
Yes.
It's very popular. There are hundreds of millions of people that use that every day.
Now I'm thrilled. Can't wait for Googling.
You should try that.
Okay then. So about GoogleNet, it was held last night, right?
Well, what it was the Ad America facility invited us to come and talk about the way that technology, things like Google and Google Earth, but also Google Search, Google Book Search, Google Translate, all these things, can be used to really make society better.
Oh, I see.
And the big part of making society better, the biggest part of making society better, is making yourself better.
Ah, I see.
Right, it starts with you, right?
I agree. Thank you.
So you need to learn, you need to understand,
yes.
you need to experience. So these kinds of things are things that Ad America is all about. They're the things that Google is all about. Our mission is to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. So useful means like on a map maybe, or accessible means we speak web pages to you because you're blind, so you need to hear what's on the web page. Or maybe it translates for you, so that it's a web page in Swedish, where we show it in Indonesian automatically.
Wow.
So we talked about those kinds of technologies, and also about the way that these things shape society. So in Egypt, for example, or Tunisia, the way things are really happening, things in Iran. So we talked about some of the way that technology is really it's like a part of the world at the sort of ambassador global stage, because it changes the way countries operate.
Okay, nice gesture ya. So we're gonna take another break, sir. So dan kemudian kita akan kembali setelah pesan-pesan berikut. Tetap bersama kami di Lasa, jangan kemana-mana. Ya pemirsa, masih bersama kami di Ilasa dan kita masih bersama orang yang luar biasa sekali. Beliau ini adalah Chief Technology Advocate Google Incorporated. Ada Mr. Michael T. Jones. Mr. Jones, so I heard, from what I heard, from my Google, so Google's gonna do the opening reps office in Indonesia. Is that true?
Well, what we do is we'd like to.
Oh, you'd like
We'd like to. We haven't been able to yet, and we're still working all the details. But there's no better place for Google to be than Indonesia because of all the vibrance here. There's a great energy. Indonesia's #2 in use of Twitter, very high in use of Facebook. There's a real embrace, not of just technology, but of using it to do good things, to help people and inform and share. So we love that, and so we want to be here, right? Now, our products are already here, of course. People use Google. Even though we're not here, they use our products, right?
Agree.
But we'd like to have an office here to really work with people closely. Also, we're in business. We're in the advertising business. A lot of people want to use, in Indonesia, want to use Google to do advertising, and they want our help. So they want us to be here so we can help them. Now, we have a regional office in Singapore, and it supports many countries in the area. So the idea is to perhaps advance into those countries and set up offices. And we've been working with the government trying to understand how the regulations would affect us. And as soon as we understand all of that, we'd love to be here.
So we're in Indonesia, very welcome you to Indonesia very soon, yeah?
Well, thank you very much.
Okay. So what's the next big thing on Google? Can you give us some, a teaser or like?
Well, there's always there are many next big things. I mean, I guess
I bet you guys do.
there are 3 or 4 things that are happening right now.
Okay, share some.
It's not so much that they're from Google, like we decide what the next big thing is. It's not like a fashion show where we make up new clothes.
Oh, okay.
It's not like that. It's that the world is changing, and we're watching, and we build tools to match what people are doing. So the next big thing from Google is the next big thing of humans, and Google's just building tools for that. And there's 4 things, okay? So I guess the first of those is people use computers now in a very social way. Things like Twitter and Facebook. But they do that in many different places. And so they've been asking and looking for ways to connect that. People don't want to log into 100 websites to find out what their friends are saying, their colleagues are saying, their parents are saying. They want to somehow control all of that. They don't want like a different website. They just want like a searching like a Google search, but to find things about their friends or about their parents or family and their work. So how would Google take you to the right Facebook page? How would Google take you to the right LinkedIn page or Orchid page or whatever? And so we've been working a lot of work on how to make Google better at social.
Agree.
Not better at being anybody else, any other company, just better at helping people with social activities.
Yes.
So another thing that we're working on that people are doing is everyone uses a mobile device.
Agree.
It's more important than it might seem. 1.5 billion people, maybe 2 billion people, 1.5 to 2 billion people use personal computers.
Yes.
Which is fantastic.
Yes.
There's 6.5 billion people.
6.5 billion.
So that means there's 4.5 billion people who don't use computers.
Okay.
2 billion of them use mobile phones. The people with computers have phones. People without. So 4.5 billion people have phones. So there's computers. Then there's phones. Then there's other people.
Yes.
And so what's important is that the internet make it to phones, and that both phones and the internet make it to the other people. So we work hard on expanding the internet, the frontiers of that. For example, we work with Indonesia. We're talking to people about we're networking to the remote islands. We work on making phones be great. So we have an effort called Android for that.
Yes.
Which makes phones, inexpensive phones, sometimes, be really good web browser, really good at using Facebook, really good at using Twitter, taking pictures. So the full internet experience in a small portable device.
Yes.
Right? So we work on that. And we do something a little bit special than other people do. We make it so that when Indonesian students want to build programs for that phone, they just build it and release it. They don't have to ask us for approval or get they just release it. So it's very open in that regard. Then another thing that people are doing, the third thing, is they're moving, I think, interestingly, away from the historical way that people use personal computers. So it used to be to have a PC, you went to the store and bought a computer.
Yes.
Big box with a monitor and keyboard and mouse, or a laptop, a notebook. And then you also bought operating system, you bought an email program, you bought accounting software, all these boxes, and you put the disks in your computer. Now what you do is you open a web browser, any web browser,
simply,
and you just go to some website that's an accounting website or a banking website or a Twitter, Facebook, Google Mail, Gmail, or maybe Yahoo Mail, or whatever it is. Whatever it is that
you say it.
No, it's totally fine. The point is that the way people work is they work online.
Yes.
So if they're going to work online, maybe they don't want to deal with viruses and upgrades and all that kind of thing. So they're moving to hardware that doesn't have much of an operating system. And so device manufacturers came to us and asked us to help. We responded by building something called Google Chrome OS.
Yes.
And what Chrome OS is it's basically a powerful web browser like Google Chrome, even more powerful, in hardware. So you open the notebook, it's Chrome. Each tab is whatever program you want at some website, and you close the thing, and it's off. So you have 24-hour computing. It's all totally safe. Every window is totally safe. No virus can affect your computer. No upgrades, no maintenance, no anything. So, and because they don't have to pay the operating system company, it only costs $200 or $300 American. Right? So it's a very inexpensive computer. So for less than the price of a phone, you got a full laptop computer. Big screen, access the whole world.
An enhanced computer,
and so, but it's enhanced in convenience. But it's not as powerful because it's only web browser. So maybe you like using Adobe Photoshop or something, but it wouldn't work on that. So it's not that it's for everybody, but a lot of people almost always use the web. Just like most people have a laptop computer with a lot of power and a mobile phone. They use their phone to check their mail and all kinds of things. Right? So they only use the computer for the special things, right? So this is kind of like another. You can use your phone for most things. You can use this kind of computer for most other things. And for a very small number of things, maybe video production or editing or whatever. Then you use your special computer. You're going to plug into the wall and operating system upgrades and all that kind of stuff. So that's happening, and we see literally tens of millions of devices are going to be sold, perhaps more than existing personal computers. I think within 3 or 4 years, most computers will actually be this kind of web browser-only computing, which is interesting. So since that's what's happening, we went ahead and built software for that. It's called Chrome OS. That's pretty exciting.
Okay. Mr. Jones, thank you very much for your time and sharing the ultimate and valuable information for us.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for thinking.
Say hi to Uncle Google.
Thank you.
Okay then. Ya, pemirsa, demikian jumpa kita kali ini dengan Mr. Michael T. Jones. Beliau ini adalah Chief Technology Advocate dari Google Incorporated. Email dan juga kritik saran silahkan kirim ke ilafstar@metrotvnews.com. Kita akan ketemu lagi minggu depan dan maju terus teknologi informasi komunikasi Indonesia. Sampai jumpa.